Hi everyone, my name is Gazala Reed and welcome to my channel, Greed Bead Studio. Today we are going to create this beautiful pendant necklace using earring connector findings. I have a whole box of this and honestly I haven't used them much in the 5 years I've had them. For all my bead embroidery project, I use 1mm thick stiffened felt. First, I mark the layout using a ruler and a regular Sharpie. This helps keep the design even. I also round the corners of my felt, a small trick that helps prevent your thread from getting caught while sewing. After marking the felt, I trace the connector in the center. Quick tip, I use a small file to slightly enlarge the hose in metal. Even though I have this lovely leafy shape connectors for so long, they are a little bit too big and bulky for earrings. But if you are a jewelry maker, I'm sure you have similar components laying around. Maybe this video will inspire you or give you some helpful tips for future projects. So instead of gluing my connectors, I anchor them directly onto the felt using turquoise seed beads through the holes. And for the big hole, I use like a larger bead. It's number 8 turquoise beads. I believe it's a number 55. And for smaller holes, I use check beads, 11, size 11. After I anchor the beads, I take 8mm turquoise beads and begin stitching them around the connector, placing each bead sideways so it hugs the shape nicely. You see how beautiful it is already. So next, I trace the other 2 connectors with a Sharpie to form a lotus-like shape. I attach them the same way, anchoring them with beads and stitching around with size 8 turquoise beads, using the same sideways technique. So it looks very beautiful already, and if you have different connectors, you can play with your imagination and maybe put them in a different place, like the shape you would like to. Before finishing the 3rd connector, I pause to glue down a 12mm turquoise sew-on crystal in the center. I use super glue. It could be found in any store, probably in Walmart or any construction store. If you guys don't have a extra glue, there's no worry too about it. The crystal has a hole so you can stitch the beads inside, and that will secure your crystal. I just personally like to have different types of glue in hand, so it depends what kind of project I'm working at, and it's very handy to have different types of materials. So now I take size 8 brown beads and attach them sideways around it. You can see, making very beautiful outline. So my little advice, if you worried that your lines are not very even, don't worry about it. It comes with usually a practice. The more you do it, the more even your lines would be. So now we finished the whole crystal sewing around. Now we're gonna attach 8mm Capri Blue crystals and sew them into the corners of the pendant. I also outline them with 11 size 11 bronze seed beads for extra sparkle. I think these beads are check beads, so usually all my beads are from they are check beads or Japanese beads. They like the best beads I like to use in my projects. So after I outline the crystals, I just go around the whole row using backstitch and bronze beads, the entire pendant, to give it a neat and elegant frame. See, now we have an empty space in the center and we need to fill it. I personally have pearls. They are 3 and 5mm. So if you don't have the same exact sizes, you can use 4mm pearls or whatever beads you have on hand to fill the space. After we done stitching, it's time to carefully cut out the embroidery. You always have to use sharp scissors and just always leave 1 mm edge around the stitching. Then trace the pendant shape onto thin cardboard, making sure it's slightly smaller than the embroidery. Glue it to a piece of brown fox leather using E6000 glue and let it dry for a couple of hours. So I like to use this glue only for my leather because it has like a clear texture. It's very handy. Evenly spread the glue. It's kind of hard for me to spread it even because the glue is kind of old and became very gooey, but I like to do not throw my glue and just use it all up when it's gone. So now we have to let it dry for a couple of hours. Don't be in a rush. Let it dry very good. Sometimes I leave the project overnight to dry because it's better to have nice dried project while you're working. Once it's dry, cut the leather to match the shape of the pendant using sharp scissors again. I strongly recommend you have sharp scissors and just use them for cutting your felt and leather only. Now the hardest part. So it's not really hard part, but as soon as you know the technique how to make your stitch sides edges looks good, it's gonna be easier for you to finish any project you want. We're gonna use number 8 bronze beads. To start bringing the needle up through the edge, pick up 2 beads for the first stitch, then go down through the backing. Come up between the first and second bead and pass the needle through the second one. Then repeat. Pick up 1 bead, go down, come up, pass through, tighten. This creates a raised, clean edge and gives a professional finish. So in my plans, I'm going to create separate video with very detailed instructions how to finish your edges, because a lot of my students who come from my class have a hard times with this part, and I have to admit that this part have some challenges, but as soon as you figure out the technique, I think it would be easy for you to finish all your projects very clean and neat. So now we're making loops for the dangles, and you need to find the center, bring the needle through the edge beads and pick up about 8 seed beads to form the loop, and bring the needle to the front, make a couple of knots between the beads and trim the excess with sharp scissors. It's how I usually hide my thread. We need to repeat this for all 3 dangle loops. In general, I have 4 loops. 1 is for bail and 3 are for our dangle charms. See, I made it with a turquoise beads here. We're almost done. This is the way I hide my thread too, with a burner. Hey, we almost done. So there is like fun part left. We need to create dangle parts for our necklace and go through your stash, see what you have in hand, some beads, some drops, maybe some leftover pearls, or maybe anything you have in hand will be so nice to use in your project. It takes a little bit experience to make loops for your dangle beads, and will usually come if you try a couple times. You just need to use a round nose pliers and to create the dangles, and this part takes a bit of practice, but it's fun. And finally, attach the pendant to a bail, add the dangles, and your pendant is ready to wear. You can hang it on a cord or chain depending on your style. So I hope you guys like the video. Thanks guys for watching, and give me in comments below what else would you like for me to make, what kind of videos. Bye.